Well, guys, Merry Christmas. If this goes as planned, you're watching this on Christmas Day. You've watched your kids open gifts, and now you're waiting for dinner. Or you know what? You just had dinner and you're just letting it digest. Or you're chilling out, waiting to load because you're working, because, you know, that's what truckers do. But anyways, I apologize for the wind, but it's warm and it's icy. It's like 6 degrees, the wind is blowing, and of course I've got icy things on my shoe because it's slipperier than a son of a gun. But check it out. I wanted to show you guys brand new 589 TriDrive day cab. Now this one has got a 12 gauge, I believe that's a 16-inch drop visor. I really like how you can see the roof on that. That looks really, really sharp. Watermelon lights. We've got the under bumper front mud flaps. Excuse me. Little lights on the end of the bumper are kind of a nice touch. Now, this truck was built by a customer that was unable to take it, so it currently is available at Peterbilt Pacific. But I thought I'd show it to you because I really like this. The name of this color is Sea Wolf Gray, I believe it is. And yeah, it is popping. But we've got 425 steer tires. These are Durabrite Alcoa wheels. They're not as shiny as a high polished one, but they've got the coating on them, so they'll stay looking good. Custom cab guard done up from Free Flight Manufacturing in Vanderhoof, BC. Family owned operation in a small town. Yeah, small town Vanderhoof. These are Durabrite as well. And the customer originally was waiting to see if they were going to have a fifth wheel or a single bunk logger. And these are, so that's why it doesn't have a fifth wheel or a bunk on it, because it can go either way. We've got the Free Flight style fenders with belting to cover up the inside. They got their chain hangers, and these are quite popular. They have a steel grid that holds them. This one is on air track suspension. Hands down the best traction of any suspension out there. This is a custom Free Flight taillight box. Oh, it's actually not that custom because you can buy one if you want one from Free Flight. But anyways, it's cold out here, so let's take a look on the inside. That wind, I tell ya. I really like with the 589s with the platinum interiors that these are black. And I also really like the new steps. So they're very dare I say Kenworth looking? I said it. Doesn't have the old school Peterbilt look, but you know what? It is a nice step. You know, I quite like how you know, they're staggered out. Wind just blew my door closed. Let's flip these over because I don't want to damage the rubber floor. But yeah, I really like those steps because I moved a Volvo for our body shop the other day, and you know, if you're driving a Volvo, you know, nothing against you or your Volvo, but the cab is so wide, and it had air tanks and the batteries under the door, and the bottom step is kind of in, so when I put my foot in, I just about slipped and went between the step and like the air tanks, and I thought, man, if a guy got his foot in there and then you fell off, you could break a leg. But I don't know if it's ever happened, but it could. But look at the size of that visor. She's a big girl. That's a big girl. Yeah, that's big. you definitely have to, and I don't have any air in my seat, so she's a big girl. It's almost too big. So yeah, if somebody's interested in this truck and you don't like it, we'll take the visor off. But because this one was built by a customer, they had every intention of taking it, but with some things that went on in the forest industry around here, and certainly with the talk of tariffs that might make things even worse, they said they couldn't take it. So it's available. And this is what they wanted, and it looks really cool. And sitting here, you know what? You can see just fine. But if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. So we could actually I should order a lower one. You know, keep the same mount. Well, because it's mounted on the A pillars, and just get one that's a little bit taller maybe. But anyways, of course, this one's got platinum interior. I've got the driver summary on. Check our settings. You can set your time. I should do a video all on this just to help people as you're setting it up. That's kind of a neat feature that they offer now. It's called dark cabin. Cab dome lights stay off when the door is open, which is kind of interesting if you don't want to light up the world when you stop somewhere to get out. Digital RPM, so if you want your RPM to be in digital, dual speedo, when you turn it on, then you can see miles per hour and kilometers an hour. Wiper interlock, headlamps turn on with the windshield wipers. I don't know if I like that one. I just assume turn my lights on if I want them on, but whatever. If you want them to come on, if you got a fleet and you want your wipers to come on with you want your headlights to come on when the wipers come on, then it's a thing. But in Canada, we have daytime running lights, so your lights are on all the time anyway. So I guess that's the reason, because I think in most states you don't have to have daytime runnings. Maybe all states. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. The wife does it all the time. But this is pre-wired for VHF radios. Brackets there, power, antenna cable. It's actually wired to run 2 radios, so the other one is down here on the floor with power. And of course we got the Peterbilt cup holders on the floor. I got the fire extinguisher shipped loose. The nice thing with having it shipped loose is then you, the customer, can put your fire extinguisher where you want it. Because some guys, you can order it, well, you can order it in 2 places in a day cab. Well, technically 3 places. You can order it loose, put it where the heck you want it. You can order it where it's on the inside of the driver's seat or on the outside of the driver's seat. And a lot of times, if you're a guy that likes to run in slippers, you put your shoes by the driver's door, so you got your slippers. And I turned the light on, make it look like someone's home, eh? Sorry. Yeah, so anyways, this truck has 605 horsepower, so it's 605 2050 torque. Got a couple of spare switches. I don't know if they're hooked up. Probably one is for backup lights, or I might have the backup lights down here. And there's a spare spot there. Oh yeah, there's the backup lights. So got a spare spot there. I've got 2 spares here, 2 dummies there, which is spare spots. Spare spots. 5th wheel slide controls, if a person did put a 5th wheel on it. Suspension dump. Now this one, I did put, hear that? That's what you call manual air switches, baby. Going old school. Yeah, so the manual air switches, I put them in for this customer. The customer wanted them put in. We did the toggles. Made up a little plaque here, and the nice thing with the toggles is they're very affordable. Like, that's, each one of these is less than $100 each. So like, that's like, call it $350 for all the toggles. Now the Kenworth air switches plug right into this dash, The only problem is the Kenworth air switches are expensive. They're like $400 each. And a TriDrive you need 4. So that's like $1,600. But this particular customer that ordered this truck, they're a log trucker, I should say. So they haul logs, steep country, and they do not want anything messing with their lockers. So that's why they opted to have us put manual air switches in, because they just work and they don't fail. I mean, you could have a switch fail, but anyways, you know what I'm talking about. And of course, I really like these ram mounts. I don't know if you guys, you know, can get those in other trucks. If you have a Peterbilt, just so you know, the ram mount is an option. And what I like is with the ram mount here, you put it has an arm that clamps on, and then it comes up, and then you can have your cell phone holder there with a booster or whatever, or you can even have it so it tees off and you could have your cell phone and an e-log. Now, another option is if you don't want gauges here, you can get it so there's a ram mount right in the center there, but I like gauges. The new radio, it's different from the Pacific that we had before, so it's less buggy, or at least it should be. I mean, we haven't used it that much to really get a good feel for it, but the one problem with the Pacific Smart Nav before is the fact that it was a little bit buggy sometimes. Sometimes it'd go blight. Is blight a word? I just made it a word. It could go bright or dark or dim or whatever, and it can be really annoying. Now in a log truck, we don't need it because we don't need nav. And the other thing, the new one, it also doesn't have gauges in it. So if you like using it to have extra gauges, it doesn't have it. I don't know that people did use it for extra gauges that much, but the one thing about the new digital dash, let's just back out here, back out, back up, back way up. Of course, maybe it's because it's not running. So let's fire up here, clutch in, wait for it to cycle. And the fan comes on and hit the key. Hopefully that light goes out. And if it doesn't, it's supposed to be there. What light? I don't know what you're talking about. There's no light on in the dash. Oh yeah, there it goes. I knew it was gonna go out. Oh, I didn't. I was actually kind of worried. No, that light actually, it's called a mill lamp, which is an acronym for malfunction indicator lamp. So all it is basically telling you, the driver, is that there was a malfunction, and so it's an indicator that there was a malfunction, and it's a lamp. So lots of times with the new ones, if you start them too fast, don't let it cycle, or something like that, it can throw a bit of a code, but it's not a D-rate scenario. So it just lets you know that something happened out of sequence or isn't quite right, but you can keep driving, you don't have to worry about it, but it lets you know that there was a malfunction. I've created them before by jumping in and hitting the key, boom, right out of the gate without letting things cycle. So don't be like me. Let things cycle after, turn the key on, take a deep breath, take a sip of coffee if you just jumped in with your coffee, and then start the key. And that way it can do all its clicky clacks and stuff. So, and it is hot in here. I was cold outside, so I fired this thing up, and then I went back inside, and then customer came by. We ended up visiting for a while. So it's warm in here is what I'm saying. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying is, with the digital dash, you do have a pile of gauge options. So right now we've got oil temp, torque, boost, brake application, transmission temperature, air restriction, and of course fuel. With the Peterbilt, you can get dual fuel gauges, so you got left and right side tank, and your def is the blue line in the middle. Coolant temperature, air, and oil pressure. And this one's got it set up so it's dual speedo, so mile per hour and kilometers. So yeah. Oh, and this truck also has an air ride passenger seat, because the person that ordered it His wife, I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend actually, goes with him a lot. So that's why they wanted an air ride passenger seat instead of a toolbox or batteries in the cab. Batteries in the cab are kind of nice because I think they last longer, but it also takes up the space and eats up a bunch of storage, which is nice about having them outside on the frame. So, and then on here, it's kind of redundant because we've got the boost there, but you've also got boost there. Oops, sorry, boost there. This is trailer, air reservoir, brake application, trailer brake application, suspension load, and your oil temp. Now, one of the things why I'll put some, well, generally gauges that don't matter, is so you can put the Teltec gauges in. The Teltec gauges are basically an airway system. Well, it kind of weighs your truck based on air pressure. But what it does is it converts the air pressure to kilograms or pounds, depending on which you prefer. And then so with this, I take the manifold, check it out, take that one, check it out. Maybe shuffle these around so you have like a truck and your trailer, and then it would say how much your truck weighs and how much your trailer weighs. And it's a real nice option. Of course, you can use your trailer, or pardon me, you can just use your air PSI as kind of a gauge, but it doesn't actually tell you what it weighs. It just, you know, so you got to know, well, legal is like 65 pounds or 60 pounds or 62 pounds. So it's nice having that. So, and also it's an option to have the USBs there, and you got to have your aux port, a little cubby there, aux port / cigarette lighter. Does anyone call them cigarette lighters anymore? I guess us old guys call them cigarette lighters because that's how they started. But I imagine one day it's going to be where there aren't cigarette lighter ports, they're just USBs. But then now you have USB, USB-C, and well, who knows what will be. Well, maybe next time it'll be wireless. Maybe you don't need to charge anything in the future. Just you get in the truck and all your devices woo, automatically charged by induction, kind of like a microwave. I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably be long since gone then. But this customer, they also mounted their VHF antennas and pointed them forward for kind of a cool look. But I don't know. The one problem with that is I think with a VHF antenna, they don't actually work as good when they're on an angle, because I think they're supposed to be straight. And it also, a VHF antenna, depending on what length you cut the wire for, it will determine whether it's better for a frequency. So if you have a frequency that you use all the time or a range, there's actually a formula as to how long your antenna should be. I know, I didn't know that either until somebody told me. So sometimes you're better off with the short antenna, sometimes you're better with the tall antenna. But the radio shop guys know. So what else can I tell you? Got the Bluetooth radio. She's a long hood. She's a long hood, boys. Kind of love this truck, to tell you the truth. The only kicker is with this visor. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys where my eyes are. You know, the visor looks good. It fills up a lot of the window, but if you want to have a bunch of air in your seat, it's not good. So I'm just gonna air my seat up to where it's kind of, you know, there we go. That's kind of like if you like to sit up a little higher. There, that would kind of be my perfect. So that, I don't know, man, might be too low. But then when you let some air out, it's just fine. So basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is the visor's perfect depending on how you sit in the truck. So, and it's easy to change. Well, it's not easy to change. It's easy to change as long as you get the same style. So, but it looks really cool. And you know what? Sometimes looking cool is good enough. And in all reality, you know, people are built different. So the one nice thing with having a bigger visor and a long hood, and this is what people have learned years ago, is when wind hits the front of your truck, it kind of goes up a little bit and then back. And when you have a bigger visor, and this is also why people put bug deflectors on, because the wind comes up, and then when it comes back, it hits your visor and it goes up, and you're less likely to get rock chips. And in this country, that's a big deal, because rock chips mean you got to change your windshield at inspection time. Now, just rock chips is okay, as long as they're not in this field of view. If they're there, like right in front of you, then it can be a dinger on your motor vehicle inspection. If it's over here, or if it's over here, or down there, or up there, it doesn't matter. But it's if it cracks. Because if it cracks, then you gotta replace it. So anyways, let's pull it back around and yeah, see if there's anything else that I missed. I mean, it's Christmas. Wouldn't it be awesome to get this for Christmas? You know, a lot of people hate on the wide cab. And have you driven a wide cab? I mean, it's okay if you don't like the look. I mean, let's face it, it takes a while to get used to a lot of things. But it is pretty dang comfortable, and they are quiet. And it is different because, you know, panels, instead of being screwed on, they snap in or whatever, but they are comfortable to drive. You can't knock it. So I'm not gonna knock it. Don't get me wrong, I like a 389, but if I was driving every day, the sleepers and that on these, and you know, the only thing that this is missing is an extended cab. And if you want an extended cab, we could get an extended cab from DC Cabs. Now, by the time it gets to me in Prince George, it's probably going to add about $15,000 to the price of the truck. Because what we do is we get the truck shipped to Rockwood, Tennessee, where they install them and build them. They would install the extended cab, do all that, and then as part of the price, they'll ship it to, they won't ship into Canada, but they'll ship to, like, say, Bellingham. They'll actually ship anywhere in the U.S., which is cool if you're in the U.S. But they will ship them to Bellingham, and then I could go down to Bellingham and pick them up, bring them across the border, and bring it up to Prince George. So that's where that and our dollar right now stinks. If you're an American, man, you should be buying stuff in Canada because you got like 40% discount. But if I'm a Canadian, everything costs $1.40, like 40% more, which is a real stinker. So I was actually, and this is completely off topic, guys, so I apologize if you've already left by now, but this is just an example. There's a motorhome that I know, I shouldn't look at motorhomes because they're not an investment, they're built like crap, but I was looking, you know, it was by accident. And they had it on sale for $79,000 Canadian, a 2014 Winnebago Forza. It's like an entry-level diesel pusher. You know, guys got to check out a diesel pusher if, you know, I can't help it. I like diesels. Like diesel pusher. Like diesel trucks. But anyways, so their sale price is 79 grand. So anyways, I'm just curious if it's a good price or not. I Googled it. In the States, they are selling same year from anywhere from $100,000 to like $120,000 US. So if I was an American, I'd buy that motorhome, and once you convert your money, it's, you know, you're probably, well, what would it cost you if you were an American? You get a 40% discount, so you'd probably only be paying like $45,000 for it, $50,000 say. Take it back down, turn around and sell it in the States on sale for 90, you make 40 grand. I know, 40 grand US. Anyways, it's just, you know, just sucks because our dollar is stinking right now. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video, something a little different, and let me know. Do you like this truck? Do you not like this truck? Do you love a good visor, a big visor, or do you hate a big visor? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you in the next one. Time to go eat some turkey. Or cookies and candy. Cheese balls. I haven't had a good cheese ball in a while. Yeah, you can find a cheese ball. Crackers. Oh, spinach dip. Oh, love me a spinach dip. Anyways, let's put the sucker in gear. I was going to turn the light off, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, it's down over here. you know, these things turn pretty dang sharp. It's the beauty of set forward axles is they actually turn a little sharper than a setback. I actually find that Meritor turns sharper than Dana as well, if you're curious. But let's put her back in the lineup. Go slow so I don't get her dirty. Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate all the support. Lots of big things coming in 2025, I'm sure. At least I hope so. Slip her into the spot next to the last 367. There we go. I literally forgot where the power window was. It's pretty handy them being in the door. You know, power window, power door locks, power mirrors, mirror heat. There we go. Back in the lineup. Got the 589, 567, and the last 367. I already did a video on that one, so. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays. Happy Festivus for the rest of us. Take care.